Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nar from the Nar Report. Back today with another episode. This is episode 12. And in today's episode, I'll talk about a couple of things. College football from this past weekend. There were a couple of good games, and I'll get into those in just a second. I'll recap all of the week 10 games from the NFL season, give y'all my week 11 predictions, and one more thing I like to talk about is the NBA in-season tournament starts tonight. We got two games between the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson returning to the Bay Area to face his former team, and I'm excited for that one. But if you haven't, make sure you sub to the YouTube. Follow me on all of my social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok at D_Now_report. Let's get this show started, baby. Starting off with the college football games this weekend, I'll start off with Georgia and Ole Miss. Georgia gets embarrassed by Ole Miss 28-10. Carson Beck, awful game. Carson Beck turned into a turnover machine. He was, because 0 touchdowns and 1 interception. Carson Beck was just playing out there for fun. Georgia did not play a good game. This was supposed to be a game that they were supposed to win. And Georgia, to me, is the best team in college football. And they come out playing like this against Ole Miss. Coming into this weekend, Georgia was ranked number 2, and Ole Miss was ranked number 16. And Georgia gets upset. Carson Beck has been a little inconsistent all season long, but he has to get it together. By the time playoffs come, he needs to be ready to play, and I believe that the Georgia Bulldogs will make the playoffs. But otherwise, the Ole Miss played a phenomenal game. They ran all over Georgia. The offense was great. The defense was phenomenal. And that's it for Georgia and Mississippi. Mississippi wins 28-10. Another game I like to talk about, Alabama and LSU. Excuse me right there. Alabama wins 42-13, blowing out LSU at home. I did not see this coming. Okay, I did not see this coming. I expected a very close game, like down to the wire, like 42-50. 42-45 as the final score. But Alabama just ran all over LSU. And it's crazy because I kind of picked LSU to win this game, but I didn't know Alabama was going to run into Louisiana and run the boys out the stadium. Because, man, it was bad. Offense for Alabama, phenomenal. Jalen Morella had an amazing game. The defense for Alabama, phenomenal. LSU, offense was trash, defense was trash. LSU could not do nothing with Alabama. That defense for Alabama was too much for them. It was. And that's it. Alabama wins 42-13, and Alabama will make the playoffs. Next game I really want to get into is Colorado versus Texas Tech. Colorado wins 41-27. Shedeur Sanders had a great game, 30 for 43 for completion, threw for 291 yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Shedeur Sanders is an amazing quarterback. They got Coach Prime, Travis Hunter, my favorite to win a Heisman this year. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. Colorado will make the playoffs this year. If they win out and win the Big 12 championship, they will make the playoffs, okay? And I feel like if Colorado makes the playoffs, they should be the team to beat because the offense is phenomenal. The defense is very good. Coach Prime is an amazing coach, and I love what he's doing over there with those young guys. And, yeah, that's it. Colorado should make the playoffs, and they will shock the world. I'm not saying they will, but they could shock the world. And that's it. Colorado wins 41-27. And that's it for college football. Now we dive into the NFL. Week 10 of the NFL season wrapped up last night with the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll get into that shortly. But starting off with the Thursday night game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. What a game this was. This was a thriller on Thursday night. Came right down to the wire. It came down to that 2-point conversion. Ravens win 35-34. Let's talk about it. Lamar Jackson, phenomenal. MVP right there. Just go ahead and give Lamar his third MVP, okay? Because he is outplaying Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and anybody that's in the MVP race, he is outplaying them. Lamar Jackson, 25 for 33 for completion, threw for 290 yards and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. This dude was marvelous. And if you watch them, and if you know what I'm talking about, Lamar Jackson looked like primetime Michael Vick out there because that dude went off. Lamar Jackson went off for the Ravens. King Henry, another good game. 16 attempts, ran for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry averages a touchdown every game. All right. King Henry always averages a touchdown every game. All right. That's why the Ravens brought him for, because that offense is unstoppable in Baltimore. Now let's talk about the Bengals. Joe Burrow, amazing game. He played his butt off. 34 for 56 for completion, threw for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns. Burrow played his off, but still wasn't enough to get the win. But you know who went off? Ja'Marr Chase. He was the MVP for the Cincinnati Bengals. 17 targets, 11 receptions for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. If it wasn't for Burrow and Chase, the Bengals would have been in this game. And I'm just keeping it real with you. But the Bengals should have won this game. I don't know why they went for 2. When the Bengals scored a touchdown, I was like, just kick the field goal. Send it to overtime and give yourself a chance. Because I felt like the defense would have stopped the Ravens and then they get the ball, drive down the field, and then kick a game-winning field goal for redemption of what happened in Cincinnati. But that's it. The Ravens will win the AFC North. And the Baltimore Ravens, to me, are the team to beat in the AFC, even though the Chiefs are 9-0. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But that's a conversation for another time for now. But Ravens win 35-34. Then we go to the Sunday games. We had a Germany game between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. And before I talk about this game, I just want to ask one question. Who really watched this game? Okay? Because I really didn't watch this game like that because I was just, to me, I'm going to be realistic with y'all. I only checked into the game for a while and then changed it, but like I wasn't really watching it from start to finish because that was the toilet bowl. Giants and Panthers, both of those teams suck. And that wasn't really a game to wake up for and watch. But this game went into overtime. Panthers went 20-17. Giants got the ball. And the running back fumbles right out the gate. Dude, what are you doing? You single-handed the Carolina Panthers the win. As soon as you got the ball, you said, here, Carolina, you can have the win. Like, what was going through your head? But let's go over the stats for the Panthers. Bryce Young, he had a good game. 15 for 25 for completion, threw for 126 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Hubbard had a good game. 28 attempts, ran for 153 yards and 1 touchdown. The Panthers played a great game. Offense was solid. The defense was good. Like I said, I really didn't watch this game, but I'm only speaking to y'all on what I saw. And for the Giants, Daniel Jones, just go ahead and bench him. Go ahead and bench Daniel Jones because he's not the guy. He's not it. 22 for 37 for completion, threw for 190 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0, and 2 interceptions. After this season, the Giants need to move on from Daniel Jones. Because why did they pay this man all that money just for him to do this? Don't get me wrong. He led y'all to the playoffs 1 season ago. But after he led y'all to the playoffs, he hasn't been the same. And it's okay. Just go ahead and move on from Daniel Jones, fire their head coach, and just go into a fully rebuild. But that's it. Panthers win 20-17 against the Giants. And to be realistic, nobody really didn't watch that game. Now we go to the 1 o'clock games. Started off with the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. Saints win 20-17 in New Orleans. In a good one. Let's talk about it. Man, this was disappointing, man. Disappointing to watch. Because Falcons, what was that? Bijan Robinson, you did your thing. You went off, my guy. But you know why we lost this game? Because of Koo. Yeah, you. Koo. Yeah, Younghoe Koo. You missed 3 field goals. 3 field goals. That could have won us the game. Think about if you would have made those field goals. The final score would have been 26-20. But did Koo forgot how to kick a football? Like, it was like Koo fell off after week 5. Throughout the first 4 weeks, he was hitting. But like week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, he forgot how to kick a football. But I'm not going to shade on him just yet. I feel like he'll bounce back. But he's been clutch for us so far this season. And if it wasn't for Koo in those clutch situations, we wouldn't be 6-4 right now. So all that, we need to let go of Koo. It's okay. He will bounce back. And I know he will. He let the team down. He'll take the blame. And we just move on. Kirk Cousins, he did not have a good game. 23 for 38 for completion, threw for 306 yards, 0 touchdown and 1 interception. Bijan Robinson carried the offense. Okay, let's go ahead and get that out the way. Bijan Robinson carried the offense for the Atlanta Falcons. 20 attempts, ran for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Drake London, he had a good game. 12 targets, 8 receptions for 97 yards. Darnell Mooney. Ever since he came to Atlanta, this dude has been a stud. All right. Good pickup by the Atlanta Falcons in the offseason. Now let's talk about the Saints. I'm kind of mad that we lost to the Saints because this team was 2-7. We're 6-3. You know what we did? We overlooked them. We overestimated them. Okay. We was like, oh, the Saints are 2-7. They lost to the Panthers. They started off 2-0. They're on a 7-game win streak. So you know what? Yeah, we got this. But nah, the Saints stood on business in New Orleans at home. Derek Carr, he had a good game, 16 for 25 for completion, threw for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Those 2 touchdowns came from Marquez Valdes-Scantling. This dude carried the offense for the Saints. Really did. Because why we couldn't cover this man? Like, he was just everywhere. He was just too much for our defense. And that's it. Saints win 20-17. But Falcons, we'll bounce back, okay? As long as we win games and we win the division, we're good. Next game I like to talk about is the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs win 16-14 in a nail biter. And let me ask this question. How are the Chiefs still undefeated? How? Like, these boys should not be done at all. They should have lost by at least 3 games by now. I don't get what's going on. Like, the Chiefs haven't really been playing that good, but hey, the Chiefs are 9-0. Now we just gonna leave it there. But I don't understand how the heck they won that game. Let's go to the end of the game. Let's just go to the end. All right. 14-16, the Broncos are in good shape to kick the game-winning field goal. And what happens? It was blocked. Those 2-3 linemen, you had one job. Block them. Will Lutz kiss the field goal. Broncos win. And I had a feeling that the Broncos were going to win this game, but they barely lost. Yes, the Broncos barely lost that game. The Chiefs barely won. And how are the Chiefs keep winning games? And if you look at the Chiefs' games throughout the first 10 weeks, their games have been very close. It's not like, oh, they're playing like the Patriots from back in the day with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and Belichick. Nah. The Chiefs have kind of been playing down to their competition, but somehow they're still undefeated. But a win is a win. All right. And we're just going to live right there. And that's it. Chiefs win 16-14. And otherwise, both teams play exceptionally well. Bo Nix had a good game. Pat Mahomes had a good game. Travis Kelce is back for the Chiefs. Hey, Kansas City are the New England Patriots. Mahomes is Brady. Kelce is Gronk. And Andy Reid is Belichick. Next up, we go to Tampa Bay with the 49ers and the Bucks. Niners win 23-20 off of a game-winning field goal. Let's talk about it. Brock Purdy, he had a good game. 25 for 36 for completion. Threw for 353 yards. 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. CMC is back. It wasn't a lot of action for him. 13 attempts for 39 yards and 0 touchdowns. He just came back for injury, so I wasn't really expecting that much for Christian McCaffrey. But for Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield went off, okay? He played his butt off once again. And you know what's crazy about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? They don't have Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, and their offense still did their thing. They still did their thing. The defense played phenomenal, and the Buccaneers' defense is not that good. But I kind of had a feeling this was going to be a close game. But that kicker, Jake Moody for the 49ers, missed 3 field goals. 3 field goals. And then this dude in the fourth quarter with the game tied came onto the field and said, you know what? I'm about to game this. Boom. The kick is up and the kick is good. 49ers win 23-20. Moving on to the next game, we got the New England Patriots beating the Chicago Bears 19-3. I lost all hope for the Chicago Bears. I had the team making the playoffs. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, this team was in good shape to win the NFC North. But you knew what hunted the Chicago Bears? Y'all really want to know what hunted the Chicago Bears? That Hail Mary game in Washington. That really hunted them a lot. Because they're really going to look back at this game like, man, if we missed the playoffs, it was because of that game right there. But Caleb Williams, he sucks right now. The offensive line for the Bears is horrible. All right. And I'll say this. If the Bears offensive line can block and Caleb Williams does not turn the ball over, the Bears are a scary team on offense. But I think the Bears are inconsistent. The O-line is inconsistent. All right. But for the Patriots, they played a phenomenal game. Drake May had a good game. The offense played phenomenal. The defense played exceptionally well against the Bears. And I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming. I expected a close game, but I didn't expect the Patriots to walk into Chicago and run them out of Soldier Field. But that's it. Patriots went 19-3. Moving on to the next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Vikings win 12-7. It was an ugly win for the Vikings because they did not score a touchdown. All right. They just won off of 4 field goals. But a win is a win. Let's talk about it. Sam Darnold, he had a rough game. 24 for 38 for completion, threw for 241 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. How did the Vikings win this game? And the Jaguars end up scoring a touchdown, and they lost. You know what that tells us? That the Jaguars suck. All right. Mac Jones, he had a solid game. 14 for 22 for completion, threw for 111 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. It's crazy because both of these quarterbacks did not even score a touchdown. And this game was close, and the Vikings won off of 4 field goals. But that was an ugly game. Vikings win 12-7, and that's about it. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. Bills win 30-20 in Indianapolis. Joe Flacco is officially washed now. Okay, Flacco is washed now. All right. After this season, he should retire. Now, matter of fact, Flacco, just go ahead and retire right now, okay? Because you throw a pick six on the first play of the game, as soon as y'all get the ball, what happens? Flacco throws a pick six. But let's talk about the Colts for a second. The Colts did not play the great game. The offense wasn't there. The defense wasn't there. Joe Flacco, 26 for 35 for completion, threw for 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Flacco, it's time for you to retire. But let's talk about the Bills. Josh Allen, he pretty didn't have a good game. He had 1 rushing touchdown and 0 passing touchdowns. For his passing stats, 22 for 37 for completion, threw for 280 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the Bills are 8-2. Just go ahead and get in the division, okay? I thought the AFC East was going to be a competitive division with everybody except for the Patriots. I expected the Dolphins and the Jets to be competing with the Bills for the division, but the Jets suck. They're back to being the sorry Jets, and the Dolphins, Tua was out, so we all know how the Dolphins play without Tua. But if they beat the Chiefs next week, just go ahead and get into the division. All right. And that's it. Bills win 30-20. Then we have a good one in Washington with the Steelers and the Commanders. Steelers win 28-27. Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson, hasn't lost a game since he started for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a great game. 14 for 28 for completion, threw for 195 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Russell Wilson is playing his butt off. That offense is phenomenal. George Pickens, that dude is a stud. Okay? He is an elite wide receiver. And they got a good defense under TJ Watt. TJ Watt is the defense, and he is that leader. If he's not on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, where will this defense be? Now let's talk about the Commanders. Jaden Daniels had a solid game, 17 for 34 for completion, threw for 202 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Jaden Daniels did not score a touchdown, but he kept the Commanders in the game. But overall, both of these teams played phenomenal. But let's just go to the end of the fourth quarter. It was like a minute 21 seconds left. 4th and 1, still going for it. Now, if you're the Commanders, you should be thinking, oh, they're going to try to draw us off sides. So don't jump. But this dude for the Washington Commanders, what does he do? Jump off sides? And Russell Wilson? Hey, the Steelers were celebrating. Mike Tomlin was celebrating. And as soon as he jumped off sides, I said, ball game. Like, what's he thinking? And they just came out of a timeout, too. What was going through his brain on that 4th and 1? Like, the Commanders were going to get the ball back and try to win the game. And that's it. Steelers win 28-7 in a close game. Hey, that was a good game. Then we move on to the 4 o'clock games. Starting off in LA with the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers win 27-17. Let's talk about it. Justin Herbert, playing under Jim Harbaugh, is an amazing quarterback. He had a good game. 14 for 18 for completion, threw for 164 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. And the Los Angeles Chargers will make the playoffs. Now we see what's wrong with the Chargers throughout these past seasons. The Chargers are a good team. They can compete. But all they needed was a coach because Stanley was not the guy. Okay? He should have been fired after that 27-point lead they blew in the playoffs against the Jaguars. But the Chargers are back to being officially a playoff contender with Justin Herbert at quarterback. He has new weapons. I like what they're doing. A new coach and a solid defense. The Chargers will make the playoffs this year. And for the Titans, ain't that much to say about them. No more suck. And that's it. Chargers win 27-17. Moving on to the next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets. Cardinals whoop on the Jets, put BTA on them. If you don't know what BTA means, look it up because I'm not allowed to say it on the podcast. The Cardinals put BTA on the Jets, 31-6 at home. Man, the Cardinals are playing very good right now. This team was 2-4, and now they're 6-4. The Arizona Cardinals might end up winning the NFC West. Okay, their only competition to them are the San Francisco 49ers and maybe the Rams. But the Seahawks, they're not going to do nothing. They're too inconsistent. But let's talk about Kyler Murray Magic. He is playing phenomenal. 22 for 24 for completion, threw for 266 yards and 1 touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr., that dude is a stud. Kyler Murray officially got himself a number 1 wide receiver. And that offense for Arizona is elite. And they got a good defense as well, too. So I would love to see the Arizona Cardinals win the division, but they won't win a playoff game. And now let's talk about the Jets. New York Jets. I'm done picking you to win games. All right. All these games I picked y'all to win, y'all forgot how to play football. All right. Like the New York Jets were supposed to be a playoff team coming into the season and competing for the AFC East with the Buffalo Bills. But Aaron Rodgers, he's healthy. They fired their head coach. They traded for Devontae Adams. They got Hassan Reddick back. What's going on in New York? The season is over now. I lost all hope of the New York Jets to make the playoffs. If they would have won this game, I'll still give them hope to make the playoffs, but I lost all hope now. And for the remainder of the season, depending on who they play, I might not pick the Jets to win. All right. But I might pick them against the Colts this Sunday because the Colts have been playing awful too. And that's it. The Jets get embarrassed by the Cardinals, 31-6. And then we got another national embarrassment in Dallas with the Eagles and the Cowboys. Eagles win 34-6 against the Cowboys in Dallas. Cowboys, just go ahead and pack it up. All right, pack it up. And Mike McCarthy, you got to go ASAP. Why isn't Mike McCarthy fired yet? Like, it is 7:30 right now, p.m. Eastern time, and I should be receiving a notification from ESPN and Bleacher Report that Mike McCarthy has been fired by the Dallas Cowboys. Like, why isn't he fired? Can somebody explain? Like, what is going on in Dallas? And Micah Parsons is doing too much talking on his podcast and stuff like that, and his team is 3-6. Like, Micah Parsons, it's okay to talk about your team, but like y'all 3-6 right now. Everybody expected y'all to like win the division, to go on a deep playoff run. Like, if you watch ESPN, if you watch Get Up, First Take, Sports Center, Pat McAfee, NFL Live, they talk about the Dallas Cowboys every dang day. The D, NBD, stands for done, or what should the Cowboys do? Are they a playoff contender this year? Like, the Cowboys cannot win a home game. They have not won a home game since December 30th of last year against the Detroit Lions. And the Cowboys are 3-6, and those 3 wins came from the road. All right, they came from the road. They beat the Browns, which the Browns suck. They beat the Giants suck. And how did they win against the Steelers? All right, how did they win against the Steelers? Now let's talk about their home losses. When they play at home, they get embarrassed, okay? They get ran out of Dallas. Against the Saints, 44-19. Against the Ravens, y'all should have got blown out like 50-6. But it was 28-25. Dallas almost came back and won. And then against the Lions, they got destroyed. They got manhandled out there. But let's talk about the game in general. The Eagles played a great game. Jalen Hurts was amazing. 14 for 20 for completion, threw for 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Eagles offense was great. The defense was phenomenal. The defense destroyed the Cowboys offense because that Cowboys offense could not do nothing. Let's talk about the stats for the Cowboys quarterbacks. Trey Lance also got a chance to see the field as well too, so I'm gonna get into his stats in a moment. But let's talk about Cooper Rush stats. 13 for 23 for completion, threw for 45 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Trey Lance, he did solid. 4 for 6 for completion, threw for 21 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm starting Trey Lance. And this is crazy. Why are the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football on prime time against the Houston Texans? Shoot, they about to get embarrassed again at home. So we'll get to see the Cowboys get embarrassed again in back-to-back weeks. Because the Texans are going to come into Dallas ready to play. Them boys lost 2 straight games. And I have a feeling that they're going to walk into Dallas and embarrass these guys. Because what's going on with the Cowboys? Okay, I had this team making the playoffs, but they really wasn't going to do nothing, though. And that's it. Eagles win 34-6. Then we go to Sunday night with the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. Lions win 26-23. In Houston, Lions went off of a game-winning field goal. Man, this was a battle of the turnovers, okay? Battle of the turnovers back and forth. We got Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. How do you throw 5 interceptions and still win the game? Don't get me wrong. He did have 2 touchdowns. And let me go over his stats real quick. 15 for 30 for completion. Threw for 240 yards. 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. How do you... This dude threw 5 interceptions and the Texans could not capitalize a win? That was Jared Goff's stats. Let me go over CJ Stroud stats. What was his stats real quick? Because I'm trying to see something. 19 for 33 for completion. Threw for 232 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. To me, I feel like CJ Stroud had a better game than Jared Goff. And the Lions won. And those 2 field goals by the Lions, those kicks, the football barely got into the field goal. It was almost wide to the left. All right. The Lions almost lost this game. Okay. And this game really could have went like the Lions lose or the game went into overtime. But the Lions, they got the win. A win is a win. They're 8-1 of the season. But the Lions will bounce back, though, for the remainder of the season. They will play like they are the best team in the NFL. And both these teams play well. It was a lot of turnovers back and forth. I'm proud of both teams and what they've done. But the Lions get the win 26-23. Last but not least, we have a Monday Night Football game between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. This was an ugly game. All right, this was an ugly game. Turnovers left to right. Miami scores 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins played a great game. All right, we got to give credit when the credit is due. The Dolphins, they did great. Tua, he had an okay game. The offense was solid. The defense was phenomenal for the Dolphins. That Dolphins defense went crazy against the Los Angeles Rams. And for the Rams, they just kicked 5 field goals. The Rams offense did not show up. Where was the defense for the Rams? They did get a couple turnovers, but you got to score touchdowns to win games, okay? You cannot win games off of field goals. And don't get me wrong, the Vikings beat the Jaguars off of field goals, but that's different. The Jaguars suck. But in the NFL, if you want to win games, you got to score touchdowns. And that's it. Dolphins win 23-15 in LA, improved to 3-6 of the season. And the Miami Dolphins are not out of the playoff mix yet. Okay? Their next 2 games are very easy. They got the Raiders Sunday and the Patriots Sunday at home. So they'll be 5-6 before they go to Green Bay against the Packers. So the Dolphins are out of the mix for the playoffs. Now let's go over my Week 11 NFL predictions. And that was a wrap for my Week 10 recap. Now I'm about to go over my Week 11 NFL predictions. Starting off with the Thursday Night Football game, we got a good one. We got the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly in an NFC East showdown. This will be battle for first place in the division. Commanders, they're 7-3. The Eagles are 7-2. Man, this is going to be a dogfight game. But give me the Eagles to beat the Commanders. I'll say final score 30, kind of like the Bengals and Ravens game last week. I feel like that's how it's going to end up. But I got the Eagles beating the Commanders. Next up, we got the Jaguars and the Lions. I got the Lions beating the Jaguars. Lions about to put up 60 on the Jaguars. Rams, Patriots. I'm going to go with an upset. Give me the Patriots over the Rams in New England. Then we have another good game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Battle for the division in the AFC North. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Baltimore Ravens, but I won't be surprised if the Ravens win this game. And here's my hot take. If the Steelers win this game, they are winning the division. All right? They'll sweep Baltimore and they'll win the division this year. Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, is back. So I got the Steelers beating the Ravens. And while I'm doing these predictions, I'll go over my predictions one more time. Next up, we got the Colts and the Jets. Oh, man, both of these teams are mid. Who do I pick? Do I pick the Colts? I'm like, all right, I got the Colts, but I got the Jets. I got the Colts. I got the Jets. I got the Colts. I got the Jets. This is a coin flip game. All right. So, since in New York, you know what? I'm going to go with the Colts. All right. I'm tired of picking the Jets to win games. So I got the Colts beating the Jets. We got the 49ers and the Seahawks. I got the 49ers beating the Seahawks. The Packers are taking on the Bears in Chicago. The Packers will beat the Bears. The Packers on the Bears. Okay. Let's just go ahead and get out the way. Green Bay owns Chicago. Raiders, Dolphins. The Dolphins will win. Browns, Saints. Disgusting game. Saints winning. Jameis Winston returning to New Orleans. He might show out against his former team. Vikings, Titans. Vikings. Falcons, Broncos. Atlanta Falcons. We need this game. All right. We need to win this game to stay in place, to keep pace in the division, firm control of the division. Because if we lose this game, we're 6-5. And then after that, we got the Chargers and the Vikings. And the Buccaneers can end up coming out of nowhere. All right. But as of right now, we have a 2-game lead in the division. We're 6-4, and the Buccaneers are 4-6. The Buccaneers are on a bye week this week. So we need to win this game in Denver. I feel like we will bounce back. Younghoe Koo will bounce back. Kirk Cousins will bounce back. The Atlanta Falcons will beat the Denver Broncos in a close game. Next up, we have game of the week between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Chiefs 9-0, Bills 8-2. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Both of these quarterbacks playing amazing. This is a rematch of the AFC divisional round. And I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Buffalo Bills to beat the Kansas City Chiefs to handle their first loss of the season. It's in Buffalo too. And the Bills beat the Chiefs. The Bills can beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but they can't beat them in the playoffs. All right. So the Bills will beat the Chiefs. Sunday night, we got a good one between the Bengals and the Chargers. Playoff implications there. So in the NFL, when we're watching these games on Sunday, they will start showing the playoff pictures for the AFC and the NFC. So there'll be a lot of implications coming down the stretch. We're in week 11 now of the NFL season with 7 more weeks left. I'm rolling with the Bengals over the Chargers. Joe Burrow has been amazing. Justin Herbert has been amazing as well too. And the Bengals are the better team overall. So give me the Bengals over the Chargers. And then for Monday Night Football, Texans and Cowboys, the Texans will destroy the Cowboys. All right. So let me go over my predictions again. Washington Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles. I got the Eagles. Lions, Jaguars. I got the Lions. Rams, Patriots. I got the Patriots. Ravens Steelers, I got the Steelers. Colts Jets, I got the Colts. Seahawks 49ers, I got the 49ers. Packers Bears, I got the Packers. Raiders Dolphins, I got the Dolphins. Browns Saints, I got the Saints. Vikings Titans, I got the Vikings. Falcons Broncos, I got the Falcons. Chiefs Bills, I got the Bills. Bengals Chargers, I got the Bengals. And Texans Cowboys, I got the Cowboys. So that's Eagles, Lions, Patriots, Steelers, Colts, 49ers, Packers, Dolphins, Saints, and Vikings, Falcons, Bills, Bengals, and Texans. That's who I have winning in week 11. And before I go, the NBA in-season tournament tips off tonight. All right. The NBA in-season tournament is back again. And if you don't know what the in-season tournament is, it's kind of like the playoffs during the regular season because you are playing for a cup. You're playing for a trophy. And all 30 teams will compete in this NBA in-season tournament. All right. And this is how the tournament works. So all 30 teams are competing. There are 15 teams in each conference, 15 in the West, 15 in the East. So those 15 teams in each conference will divide it into 3 groups of 5. So we got 5 teams in like East A, East B, and East C. So as the West, you got West A, West B, and West C. So I'm going to go over who is in each group. All right. So you got West A. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Houston Rockets, the Sacramento Kings, and the Portland Trail Blazers. And I'm going to also give y'all my predictions as well, too, on who I got winning this NBA in-season tournament this season. I got the Timberwolves winning West A. They will be the team to beat. And West B, we got, this is a solid one. We got the OKC Thunder. We got the Phoenix Suns. We got the Los Angeles Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and the San Antonio Spurs. I got the Lakers winning this group because they won the in-season tournament last year, and Bron and AD will go crazy. West C, this is where things get competitive. This is a competitive group. Denver Nuggets, Dallas Mavericks, New Orleans Pelicans, Golden State Warriors, and Memphis Grizzlies. Give me the Dallas Mavericks to win West C. So West A, I'm going to repeat all the teams again. They are in it, and who I'm going to tell you that's going to win it. West A, Minnesota Timberwolves, Los Angeles Clippers, Sacramento Kings, Houston Rockets, Portland Trail Blazers. I got Minnesota. West B, you got the Phoenix Suns, you got the OKC Thunder, you got the Los Angeles Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and the San Antonio Spurs. I got the Lakers. West C, you got the Mavs, Nuggets, Pelicans, Warriors, and Grizzlies. I got the Mavericks. Then we go to the East. And East A, you got the Knicks, the Magic, the 76ers, the Nets, and the Hornets. Give me the New York Knicks to win East A. I feel like Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns will go off. And the Knicks play tonight against the 76ers. That game is actually on right now. So once I get off this live podcast, I will go watch that game to see what's going on. East B. So just for y'all to know, I got the Knicks winning East A. East B, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, Miami Heat, Toronto Raptors, and Detroit Pistons. Give me, this is a tough one, but I'm going to say the Indiana Pacers will win East B because the Pacers made it to the championship last year against the Lakers, so I feel like they'll make a deep run again this year. So I got the Pacers winning East B. East C, we got the Boston Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Chicago Bulls, my Atlanta Hawks. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. I'm also a Falcons fan too. I'm an Atlanta sports fan if y'all don't know. Yes, I root for all of the Atlanta teams and the Washington Wizards. But give me the Boston Celtics to win East C. Okay, they're the NBA champions, and they will win the group. But Cleveland can end up winning it too. It's either going to come out between the Celtics or the Cavs, but I believe that the Celtics will win. So those are my NBA in-season tournament group predictions on who's going to win each group. So I got the Timberwolves winning West A. I got the Lakers winning West B. I got the Mavs winning West C. In the East, I got the Knicks winning East A. I got the Pacers winning East B. And I got the Celtics winning East C. And that concludes today's show of the NAR Report. Thank you for everybody that joined. Appreciate all the love and support. New episodes every Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Make sure you sub to the YouTube and follow me on all of my social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok at D_NAR_report. Have the rest of your day. Nard out.